minutes in. Carry on Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.
A warm welcome to this edition of Breeding to Win, and gee, what a fantastic Dubai World Cup evening we witnessed last night. Some fantastic racing, thrilling finishes, and we'll tell you more about that during the show. But we've also got some fantastic racing coming up during the month of April. Of course, the second leg of the Triple Crown and Triple Tiara, that will take place on the 1st of April, being Classic Day out at Turfentine Racecourse, a day-night meeting. We're also introducing on the 22nd of April the Princess Charlene Ladies' Day, and Princess Charlene will be attending the meeting herself. And then all the way into the 6th of May, of course, being Champions Day, with the last leg of the Triple Crown and Triple Tiara. Always a fantastic day to get involved. And of course, in between all that, we've got the Empress Palace CTS Yearling Sale, which takes place on the 21st of April. So Johannesburg, definitely the place to be during the month of April and the beginning of May. Let's take a look now at what we've got lined up on the show for you tonight. We start off with Michelle Wing, who chats to the new Track and Ball CEO, Stephen Marshall. We review the CTS March sale. I chat to Candice Dawson and Catherine Ralphs. We catch up with Bloodstock agent David Allen. And as usual, we feature two Freeman stallions, and tonight look at Captain L and Dynasty. Andrew Bond looks back at Mike de Kock's Magical 3000, and we bring you highlights from last night's terrific Dubai World Cup.
Every sip, the taste uniquely Dunkin'. Each cup, uniquely you. Brewed fresh because it's not just any coffee, it's your coffee. Your Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Risk and reward. Odds and evens. Facts and form. Come and play. Play and win. At Track and Ball. Track and Ball Gaming, a new South African sportsbook offering the latest local and worldwide prices. Branches in Chatsworth, Stanger, Durban North, Shelley Beach, Pietermaritzburg and Richards Bay. To open an account or bet online, visit trackandball.co.za.
Well, Stephen Marshall is the new CEO of Track and Ball. Michelle Wing took some time out to chat to him about his new position.
Track and Ball Fix Old. Track and Ball.
Track and Ball.
Track and Ball. Track and Ball Fix Studs. Good day, Virasha speaking. If you enjoy having a bet on the horses, then what about rugby, football and tennis? And what about the sports such as Aussie rules, darts or even snooker? If you do, then Track and Ball Gaming is for you.
Michelle's Track and Ball Gaming is a group of bookmaking outlets. We've got 7 branches in KZN. We're licensed by the KwaZulu-Natal Gaming and Betting Board. We also have a website and a telephone call centre, and we're a subsidiary of Gold Circle.
What is Track and Ball's main focus?
Up until now, Track and Ball's main focus has been horse racing. We obviously know the challenges that the horse racing industry does face, and so the challenge now is to start taking more advantage of the sport and lucky numbers market.
What is the attraction of sports betting?
First of all, when a person takes a bet on a horse racing event, there's a punter's tax which is deducted from their winnings. With sports betting and lucky numbers betting, that isn't the case, so they effectively win their full payout. Obviously soccer is a very popular sport in South Africa. It's the sport of choice for our mass market, and so our market understands the game better than horse racing. One of the attractions of it is that clients can take 15, 20, 25 different teams and add them to an accumulator in order to get a large potential payout for a relatively small outlay. Similarly with lucky numbers, that's the case. They can get very large odds and win a large amount of money potentially for a small outlay. I think those are the major attractions for sports betting and contingencies like lucky numbers. It's a market which obviously is not just soccer and sports betting. There's many other different sports, so it appeals to a far wider market. At the same time, there's different bet types which are being created all the time for these different sports. So the options available to the customer are far wider and far greater.
Where does sports betting fit into the gaming market?
Before the legalization of casinos and sports betting in South Africa, horse racing was the only form of gambling that was allowed. Fast forward 25 years, and obviously we're living in an instant society, and people can compare prices, and they can go to anywhere they want to. So the competition is rife. Nowadays there's a casino around the corner. There's a lot of other forms of entertainment trying to compete with disposable income of consumers. Customers want more choice, better price, available instantly, and they have the means to compare product offerings anytime, anywhere. So sports betting and other contingencies such as lucky numbers betting represent new exciting products to these customers. With online casinos still outlawed in South Africa, legalized online betting operators such as Track and Ball have the advantage of being able to satisfy these clients who prefer to transact online, perhaps even whilst they are watching the game on TV.
What does your sports book look like?
At this stage, it's still a very small percentage of our overall business, which we're looking to expand. Lucky numbers and soccer are obviously the two major sports and contingencies that people want to bet on, and that's obviously where our focus is on growing those markets. Nowadays, you can bet on just about anything. We obviously cricket, golf, rugby, those are the other major sports that people in South Africa bet on, but you can bet on snooker, you can bet on darts, you can bet on something called bandy, which I don't even know what it is, but you can bet on it, so that's what it is, yeah. You can go into any one of our 7 branches in KZN. Alternatively, on the race course at Greyville and at Scottsville, we have betting depots that you can place a bet there as well. You can also open an account with us, a deposit-based account, and you can then transact online or via our telephone call centre as well. Our head office is based here at Greyville Racecourse, in close proximity to Gold Circle's head office. Then our branches, we have one down in Shelley Beach, we have a couple in Chatsworth, one in Durban North, Pietermaritzburg, Stanger and Richards Bay. And then we're opening up a branch in Vryheid on the 24th of March. I grew up in the horse racing industry. My father, Vaughan Marshall, trains racehorses. My grandparents were bookmakers since 1965 in KwaZulu-Natal. So it's something which I've always had a passion for. At one stage I was seriously considering following in my father's footsteps, but he persuaded me to go to university, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Business Science degree from UCT in 2000, and after a bit of travelling I ended up working at Reebok South Africa here in Durban. The owner at the time was Roy Eckstein, who's a past chairman of Gold Circle, and from there I moved to what became a family business, Marshall's World of Sport. at the stage it was being run by my uncle, and my grandparents were still there as well. Unfortunately they've passed on since. And I worked my way up there. I started off in the marketing department and ended up as the national operations manager before moving to track and ball as general manager in January this year. Our vision is to become a major player in the betting market, in the industry, but more so to actively sustain the horse racing industry in KZN, because ultimately we are a subsidiary of Gold Circle, and that's our ultimate goal.
Hits the front in the Oaks, her 1,000 guinea success. Minding outclassed them. Architecture gallant in defeat. It's coming with a challenge and moves through into second. And it's Tarzan who has won the Investec Derby.
A length and a half away. He's 2 lengths in front. Chrome turns to gold. Smart Call wins the championship.
Absolute thriller going to the line. It's Durban, July.
Well, CTS have some busy times ahead, and they were busy once again at Durbanville Racecourse with the CTS March yearling sale. Let's take a look at what happened.
taking home 2 horses from the sale. Michelle, you're very happy with your purchases?
Very, very happy. Fee, definitely a buyer's market this year at the sale. Obviously, the ones that went for money were the ones that really stood out from the rest. But I think all in all that everybody went home with a few horses at the prices that were here this weekend.
It's nice to have a second opportunity after the January sale.
Oh yes, definitely. There's always the 2 divides between the 2 sales. So there's the higher end and the more moderate in the side. And yeah, I think that there was a few horses that went home. But I think the decent ones all went to nice new owners, and look forward to seeing them in their racing careers.
And all being well, eligible for some of the big CTS races. Touch wood, you'll get there.
Well, that's what we're buying for. We're all trying to get that ticket into those races. So great incentives by CTS, and they really know how to do a show and get buyers to their sales.
Trainer Vaughan Marshall's had a fantastic sale. Vaughan, you bought really well. You actually bought one of the top lots, but you bought well and got some bargains.
Yeah, Fee, you know, we didn't buy too many. We ended up with 5 or 6, but I was very, very pleased with what we got. We bought 2 lovely Water Winter colts and a lovely VAR colt. So we were at the upper end of the market, and I'm very, very pleased with what I got, yes.
And this sale has been lucky for you in the past. I hope so in the future.
Yeah, it has been, you know, and look, a lot of people are disappointed because horses weren't sold and they went very cheaply, but, you know, that's the nature of Book 2, you know. It's not like Book 1, which we had a month or 2 ago, and where the top priced horses are there, you know. This is a lesser sale, and it's for people to buy cheaper horses, you know, and I think it's very, very necessary for us to have a sale like this. I know a lot of people aren't happy, but, you know, what do? You can't expect people to pay really big prices all the time for horses. So there's a chance of paying a minimal amount of money and getting a decent sort of horse. And we only have to think of the horse that won the Golden Slipper in Australia today or yesterday. She cost $20,000 and won $5.4 million, whatever it was. So, you know, there's a chance for everyone.
Mayfair speculators, top buyers at this March sale. Derek, there's been some bargains to be had, and you bought very well.
Yeah, Fee, I must say that we bought some really nice horses, which I thought we might have to give a little bit more for than what we did. But in saying that, I do realize that it's a very tough market out there for breeders, and yeah, I think people are starting to realize that you got to bring a decent horse to a sale if you expect to get money for it. Having said that, I hope that our export protocols do open up fairly soon, and that we get a lot more support from foreign money coming into the country and supporting our breeding industry. But it's tough out there.
It's a nice sale to buy from. I believe 30% of horses bought from this sale ran on Met Day in those CTS races.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal stat if you actually look at it from that perspective. And you know, overall, if you look at the average, it was just below 80,000, I think, the last time I looked. And to sell 250 horses of this caliber in this market, it's actually not a bad result considering. But yeah, it was tough, but we feel we bought very good value. And you know, what you lose in the swings, you gain in the roundabouts. And I think it's a buyer's market at the moment. And we were happy with the horses we bought and what we paid for them.
With me is trainer Brett Crawford, who bought 2 on the sale. Brett, happy with your 2?
Yes, I thought I got 2 very nice horses at some nice prices. I think it's been a tough sale for the breeders, but there were some nice horses here if you did your homework, and I think value for money.
And we've just got to keep saying it. We've got to keep looking forward to those CTS races, and if we get in, it's fantastic.
Yeah, look, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a great initiative that they put forward. So it really makes things worthwhile if you find the right horse that can run. And, you know, there's a lot of value in these sales.
I know it's difficult for the vendors. Some have walked away disappointed. But, you know, you can't please everyone. Some people have walked away very happy with the bargain.
Yeah, look, you know, unfortunately, I think that, you know, that's the situation. The market's very hard at the moment, and I think it is a little bit tough on breeders at the moment. But you know, at the end of the day, I think if we downscale and narrow our brood mares, it's become a tough industry at the moment. It's not easy, but you know, at the end of the day, if you brought a nice horse here, he got a nice price.
And I believe you bought a Jackson, your old friend.
Yeah, listen, I'm a supporter through and through. It's actually the 3rd one I bought this year, so I have no doubt he won't let me down. So I'm 110% behind him.
Candice Robinson is with me now. She bought 2 horses on this March sale. Candice really was a bit of a buyer's market.
Yeah, very much so, Fee. We didn't buy a lot at the sale. We bought Crusade filly, which I thought was fairly good value for money. And then we bought a Master of My Fate colt, who was also, very little money. So, yeah, it was definitely a buyer's market. We got another Philanthropist colt as well, actually, there's 3 of them. So, yeah, we're happy with our horses. We weren't overly active at the sale this year, unfortunately. There's just not that many buyers around at the moment, and yeah, but it was a very enjoyable sale, and hopefully our 3 we got turn out okay.
Well, it's lots of luck involved, but lots of good horses have come out of the sale, and of course have the opportunity to run in the CTS races.
Well, that's always a bonus to have those races, as an added bonus. And yeah, as I said, we've always been fairly active at the sale, and we've had a number of good horses that come out of here. So, as I said, we haven't got many this time around, but hopefully we're lucky with them.
With me is CTS Managing Director Adrian Todd. Adrian, the sale has come to a close. You're happy with the 2 days?
Fee, we were happy. Everybody knows that the market's been tight at the lower end. This has proven to be a solid sale that's held its own. It has reduced a little bit in aggregate and average from last year. That was expected. But the quality horses sold really well, and we think a lot of people had good buying opportunities here. So we're happy, yes.
Those looking for bargains certainly got them, which is great.
No, definitely. There's horses for courses, and this sale well fills its place in the market.
And the excitement for the future of these horses is fantastic for any new buyer, any old buyer.
Definitely, and don't ever forget that the first winner of the CTS $1 Million came from this sale. So it has produced many champions apart from that one.
And many of the runners in the big races on Met Day were from the March sale.
Correct. One of the races had over 30% runners from this sale.
It's fantastic, and I must compliment you again. What a great show you've put on.
Thank you very much, Fee.
New Turf Carriers has been in long-distance transport since 1995 and pride themselves in excellent service. The bottom line is, New Turf Carriers take your horse from door to door with pride, passion and punctuality.
Well, it's my pleasure to welcome 2 lovely ladies to the Breeding to Win show this evening, and that, of course, both of them from CK Racing, Candice Dawson and Catherine Ralphs. Welcome.
Thanks, Julie.
Lovely to have females in the studio. I mean, we're surrounded by so many male dominance in horse racing, so nice for you guys to start breaking through the ranks.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, we're very excited about it.
And obviously, it's a challenge because, as we know, it's difficult to break into the training ranks. It's difficult to get owners. And Candice, I'm going to start with you because, I mean, you've been in the game a long time. You started off as an assistant with Jeff Woodruff. You went to Mauritius. You're back now, and the stable's flying. So things are really going nicely for you.
It is now, Julie. Thanks very much, and thanks for the support of Catherine's dad and the owners that we got in the yard. Fortunately, Catherine came up with the idea of getting started, and that became a dream. So, a dream come true, rather. So yes, I've been very fortunate.
Girl power. I mean, that's really what it's all about at the moment with 2 ladies. It's not, you don't often see it, You see some ladies breaking through the training ranks, but generally it's on their own, and they've got maybe a male behind them pushing them through. So lovely to have 2 females taking it on themselves, and you've, like I said, you're off to a good start. You've got a high percentage to winners at the moment, and you've just come back from the CTS sale. So how was that sale for you?
It was great, thanks, Julie. We ended up getting 5 horses. So really nice sale, and really nice to come away with those horses.
Great prices.
And great prices, yeah.
No, I suppose it is. It's value for money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, Kath, what's your part in this? Obviously, Candice does the training of the horses. So how do you fit into this whole CK Racing?
My family's always been involved in the industry, and for about 16 years now. My dad's been an owner, and he's just got me involved, and I got the bug. My sister didn't at all, and I just loved it, every aspect of it. And I've been fortunate enough to see, the various aspects from breeding at Klavervlei and Leberg, and we're breeding with 12 mares now. And Candice and I had a conversation that did actually end up turning into a dream. And I got to go to Mauritius and see her operation there. And the conversation continued. And then she said to me, you know, it's now's the time. And we decided to go for it. And even though my dad has been amazing and we so greatly appreciate him and he helped us get started, we don't exclusively train for him. It's not an exclusive yard. We love every patron, anyone that would like to check out CK Racing. Our operation's fully functioning now. We saw a really great business idea, and Candice's idea for CK Racing was to have a team surrounding her that would make her job easier and you know, keep her focus on training horses, you know, which she does so well. So we started conceptualizing the P2I Limited company, and our team has been spectacular.
Yeah, that I must say. We've got a really great team together.
We employ about 20 people now, and yeah, we've VAT registered. We've got we're mainly a 2-year-old yard now.
How many horses in training have you got at the moment, or in the stable?
We've got 37 with 3 out on the farm, but yeah, I'd say of those 37, we've got about 15 older horses that we're racing.
So a lot of youngsters coming through, and you're continuously replenishing the stock, which is also quite nice.
Yeah.
So you're not sitting with just old stock that are kind of in their place. So it's a young, fresh stable.
It is. It's dynamic, it's innovative, and we really appreciate the new owners that are coming, you know, forward to experience what we've got to offer, and we've just been very, very lucky.
You ladies are based at Randkiesfontein, but you're not in part of the training centre. Candice, how does that, you know, is that a bit of an adjustment for you as a trainer? Is it a positive thing? Is it a negative thing?
No, Jules, you make anything work, I must say. And we've got a lovely establishment outside of Randkies, but we've also been fortunate that Pumalela gave us a couple of boxes inside of Randkies. So we go between the two.
Okay, so you've got a bit of both worlds.
Yes.
Which I suppose is also quite nice.
It is nice, and we do have quite a lot of space on a private facility. So we've got paddocks and things like that for the youngsters. But, you know, it was from a business perspective, it was quite difficult initially to, you know, from a renting perspective, paying track fees, that kind of thing. And then we were lucky enough, Pumalela did offer us another yard. So we do, you know, train from both facilities, and it's worked out very well. Thankfully, we do have a great team that has assisted Candice in training from both yards.
I think, and it's growing. You know, what is the dream? I mean, how many horses are you looking to grow your stable? Is there no number allocated to it, or do you have a specific number in mind?
I don't think there's ever really a number allocated. You know, if you can get great clients and horses into your yard, we'll accept them with open arms. So, yeah, I think that's kind of how you look at it, and hopefully amongst that we get a few nice ones to crack on with in the big races.
Okay, now that's the other question I'm going to ask you. What's the plan for the season? You know, is there a goal set? Obviously, being a young stable, you're still fresh, you're still new, you're still finding your feet. You've jumped in, both of you, with both feet, growing, running. So what's the goal for the season?
I think every season it's just to be better than the next season, or better than going forward than the previous, sorry. And I think, aiming for features and that's what we all love to do. So you like to find the one or two that can get you there. So yeah, it's exciting times, especially when you bring on youngsters.
Okay, now who's the highlight of the season at the moment from a horse perspective?
Candice will never be able to answer that. She gives every single horse individual attention.
I love them all, Jules.
Yeah, I think they're all her favourites. So, and I think she favours the older horses a little bit sometimes. For me, Royal Utopia is a big highlight. So I hope that she'll do something nice. But again, we focus on every different horse. You know, I've experienced many different yards, and they've all been phenomenal. But until I got involved with Candice and actually started watching what it takes to get a horse to the racetrack, let alone win a race. I've had a newfound appreciation for, you know, horses that can go out there and win it and enjoy it. And I think that's one thing that Candice emphasizes a lot in racing, is that she wants to make sure all her horses have a good time and are still enjoying racing. And as soon as they're not, we retire them. So it is good that there are new horses coming in and going out. And we're very, you know, strict about where the horses go from our yard and make sure they have very nice homes. So it's a process, and they all get their individual attention.
And you're going about it the right way.
100%.
Well, congratulations to both of you. We wish you, on behalf of the Breeding to Win team, all the very best going forward. And I know when you see those Candice Dawson racing naming highlights, we certainly watch for those runners, because generally, like I said, your percentage to runners and winners is fantastic at the moment. So full marks to you ladies. Take the bull by the horns, and you're doing it, and you're doing it well. So congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. And we must just thank my dad as well for all his ongoing support and encouragement.
We wish you all the very best for the future as well.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Julie.
Well, thanks to Candice Dawson and Catherine Rolfs for taking time out of their busy schedule to be with us on the Breeding to Win show today. We'll be back right after the break.
Time Thief stands at Naddison Park, owned by Hassan Adams and situated in one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Time Thief is a son of Redoubt's choice. He's out of the mare Procrastinate, which makes him a half-brother to Laissez-Faire. Undoubtedly the best sprinting filly that this country has seen for many, many a year.
South African champion trainer Mike de Kock recently recorded his 3,000th winner, and it all happened on Guinea's Day at Turfentine Racecourse. Andrew Bond catches up with Mike de Kock to tell us about this terrific achievement.
Getting the best from a thoroughbred is largely related to training and its diet. Mike de Kock has mastered this critical balance.
Where is Mike de Kock?
Yeah,
How can we have a world-class racing event, no Mike de Kock?
Wherever you are in the world, to be competitive at the highest level, equine nutrition is first and foremost.
Mike de Kock, you're a living legend.
Tries to kick the lizards. I've always wanted an edge over my competitors, and I have found the one place I can get that edge was nutrition. The game has been very kind to me, and I'd like to give something back. And so EPOL and I are making my international formula available to all trainers.
De Kock has always partnered with EPOL, and together they have developed his own formula, which is truly world-class.
The feed is based on many years of research, but now we've pushed the formula further to something that today is a world-class product. I promise you, trainers will see the difference.
Mike de Kock Feed from EPOL, available now.
We're presently standing outside the Maidan Hotel in Dubai, and this is exactly where all the trainers that have got runners in the Dubai World Cup normally stay. Michael de Kock will be moving in here in a few days' time. But he's just celebrated his 3,000th winner in South Africa, and he has been largely responsible for an enormous amount of research and development in a product called EPOL, which has given him the edge. We join Michael de Kock now to reminisce about the days gone by from when he started training right until where he is right now. He has two runners in Dubai World Cup night, both Mubtahij and a horse called 4E. Both of these horses are well documented, but before we do anything else, let's put it to Michael de Kock that the more things change, the more things stay the same with regard to the size of the team, the loyalty, the passion and the commitment.
It sure has, Andrew. Yeah, it's got too big almost. I mean, we've sort of consolidated quite a bit and doing even more consolidation. Yeah, and I've had a lot of people working for me for many years. You know, I don't enjoy staff coming and going, and it's sort of grown into a family business now as well with Matthew coming into it.
You've given us in the media and as fans a great opportunity to reflect on the past and looking back at all the years of old footage of Classic Hero and Paul Devlin and Stride Ahead and all these great horses. It must be very heartwarming to see the route that you've travelled.
Yeah, it's good to remember as well, to remember, where you've come from and how you got there. And it's also, nice to see the old footage, of horses you've forgotten and people and you know, when you were a lot lighter too. You know, it's a good 20 kilos ago. I think that goes for a lot of us too, and a lot more hair. But it's actually very interesting. It's great to reminisce, to be honest.
I have the privilege of living in a very special place, and I take my dogs for a walk sometimes late at night, and it's a deep sadness for me that particular property is not still active. That's life. It goes on, and you know, Mary had to sell for whatever reasons, but they must have been very fond days for you.
Yeah, I think Whitehills was almost some of our best days of our lives. We had a lot of fun there, and pre-trained some very, very good horses there. And I think, you know, that's where probably a bloke like Matthew, although he was very young, and I mean, didn't show sort of a massive amount of interest, but was always around the horses. You know, it wasn't as if he was decided then he was going to be a trainer. Yeah. And he was in and out of the stables every afternoon, and you know, I mean, he'd play soccer with the grooms every night until the sun went down. And a lot of the grooms today work for us, and that he used to play soccer with when he was 7, 8 years old. You know, that type of thing. So, you know, those are, as I said, very special days. We used to have some great Friday night parties, and Mary would come up and walk the dogs, and Jessica was still very young then. I think she was just out of school. I remember her 21st at Whitehills, actually.
Yes. We all flew back in a plane from Durban and almost died from some air sickness.
So that was a journey from hell, that flight back. I mean, Mary will remember that very clearly. But I mean, some great fun days, and some of the, you know, the greatest memories. I think also could have won a first championship when I was there as well, and we had a party at Whitehills with the marquee and everything. Very, very fond memories. Yeah, we miss those days, that's for sure.
Foam slides and all.
Yeah.
It now adds up that the rapport that Matthew struck up with the grooms was clearly evident, because when Rafif was being led in, of course, finally Janubi, the vibe was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see. I'm sorry I wasn't there, but it's one of those things. But, you know, if you think of it, Matthew's probably younger than 95% of the staff that are here. A lot of them have watched him grow up. The respect they have for him is a mark of the man that he has grown up to be and turned out to be. Because it's not easy to tell an older man what to do. And it's not that he actually has to get heavy with him or high-handed with him or anything. It's just out of respect that they work well for him. And that's why it's been easy for me to give him more and more responsibility, because of the respect that my staff have for him.
I think the same can be said of Diane, even though she's a lady. She's older, and they have more respect because of what she's done for them, but also because of her intrinsic knowledge and her love for the horse.
Yeah, listen, and apart from that, I mean, she's like a mother to them all here, you know, as well. Anyone with problems, and I mean, there's been the AIDS initiative. I mean, she's actually saved lives here, you know. So, you know, I mean, she's, I think, viewed quite often almost as a mother figure.
I know it must be virtually impossible to go flying through your string over the years and pick out favourites, because obviously there's one horse that stands head and shoulders above the rest in terms of his achievement, and he is a legend in his own lifetime. Sadly not with us anymore, but I suppose everything really points to Horse Chestnut, the progressive growth of your horse string.
Yeah, I think he was a turning point, there's no doubt. But I mean, even prior to him, there were a lot of really good memories and good performances that probably set up Mrs. Oppenheimer eventually making the call to giving me a chance. If I go back and think of horses like Record Edge, Golden Horde, super horses, you know.
Cheap horses.
Yeah, they were cheap horses. And, you know, I mean, horses like that. So those are really, really good memories. Obviously, he's a turning point obviously of getting Mr. and Mrs. Oppenheimer into the yard as well. Dealing with a better quality animal is, you know, takes your career to another level. I mean, you'll either sink and swim when you start getting those good horses. It's make or break for you. And that certainly, that was a massive turning point, there's no doubt.
Another horse that kind of blew my mind and blew a lot of people away was Asiatic Boy. I was looking at the footage of him winning the Derby, and the look of disbelief on Mickey Goss's face. He was there for Mullins Bay, I remember, and everybody was absolutely in awe of this galloping machine who didn't run a bad race the next year either in the Dubai World Cup.
Yeah. He was a good horse, very good horse. Probably just short of a Group 1. We didn't win a Group 1, funny enough, but he was probably just short of Group 1 quality. I mean, in those days, the Derby wouldn't have been as strong as it would be today. The horses you get today, I mean, we're getting horses that have won Group 1s in Europe coming to run in the Derby. You never saw that in those days. He was a strong, powerful galloper on dirt. And he was, in fact, one of the first horses I bought for Sheikh Mohammed. Very tough horse, good horse, but as I said, probably just lacking, but just a tough horse. You know, he killed horses in the first 800 metres. If they went with him on the dirt, they ran last. He was just that. I mean, he's the kind of horse you need in Dubai right now, with the dirt as it is. But he was a very strong galloper. You know, he used to go flat out from the gates.
And of course, Epitombi and Sun Classic, different kind of horses, but it's hard to imagine that anything can be better than they were at that time of their career.
Well, you see, that's one of the reasons I travelled. I mean, obviously for other reasons, but I mean, I was sitting with a filly like Epitombi, and I just thought to myself, if there's a horse better than this, then I'd like to see it. I mean, the way she won in South Africa was spooky, and you know, let's have a go and see what we've got. And I, you know, thankful to Hank Leonard and all the guys that were involved.
Sunmark Syndicate, that was something else.
Yeah, I mean, you know, those are, again, unbelievable days. You know, there was no expectation. We were all excited. We were all on an adventure, really. You know what I mean? It's like you were going into deepest, darkest Africa without a guide. And you know, she came through for us. And then followed up with a filly like Sun Classic. I mean, these are two fillies that were, of their generation, some of the best in the world. I mean, Sun Classic beat horses that had run in the Ark and all that type of thing.
Viva Pataka was the hero of Hong Kong.
Of Hong Kong, yeah. I mean, it was a tragedy that she did attend that filly, because she was a serious Ark horse, I thought. She was a very, very, very good filly. You know, she's got a rate right up there, and she went from a mile, 9 furlongs, mile and a half, and you know, she just got better and stronger. I mean, she was a super filly, you know, and she's as I said, it was sad. And again there, you know, Warren and Wendy Rippon. I mean, to watch them in Dubai, that you could have made a movie and written a book about that. Now, that was another experience. And I'm sure Warren probably and Wendy sit back and reminisce about those days. And you know, it'd be lovely if we could have that again. I mean, it was just some, you know, as I say, you could actually write a book, and maybe a man should one day. But and you know, it was just the memories are unbelievable. It's hard to reproduce that again, because the next time it's almost expected, because then it was just sort of happening as it went along. You know what I mean? We were almost making it up as we went along. Super days, yeah.
The South African horse racing industry is privileged to have some of the world's best bloodstock agents here in South Africa. The Breeding to Win team took some time out to chat to David Allen about what's happening with Allen Bloodlines.
It's an absolutely glorious morning here at the Blue Peter Hotel, and my guest this morning is David Allen from Allen Bloodlines. David, you've been in the industry for many years now. Tell us how it all came about.
Well, actually moving into the industry full time, if you like, was in the late 80s. We lived in Japan for 17 years, and during that time my affinity with horses, which had always been there, kind of took over, and with the help of the Tokyo stock market I bought my first filly in England, and it went from there.
And your involvement in South Africa, that's been running for some while as well.
Yeah, I think that's 14 or 15 years now, which was a conscious decision to have a Southern Hemisphere activity. But here, not in Australia, which is, you know, pretty well worked by a lot of other people. And it's been an interesting but ultimately enjoyable 14 or 15 years.
And successful, you've been having winners, it's going well.
Yes, we're sort of a jack of all trades, and I don't know about the master of how many. But yes, it has been going well, thank you. I mean, I've bred 3 winners in the last 4 days, which is always nice. And Yoshi and I probably have too many of our own brood mares, especially in the current market. So that side of thing goes well. And yes, I am a bloodstock agent or bloodstock consultant. We do that as the sales activity as well, and very intensely. but also we tend to take a longer-term management attitude to that. You know, it's rather than buy the horse and say, here you are, can I have my commission? It's buy the horse and now let's see how well we can do with it.
And you've been out here at the moment because we've just had the March CTS sale. Just tell us your thoughts on that.
Well, I'd say a lot of people were waking up this morning with a bit of a sick feeling in their stomach, I think. And not just that sale, but the fact that we, whatever we may mean, have just tried to sell nigh on 400 horses in the space of 3 or 4 days to a diminished and very cautious market. So it is never going to go well, and it didn't.
It's very difficult times at the moment, and I'm sure the breeders are feeling very down this morning, but there is some hope, and let's hope things can turn around.
Yes. I'm having a conversation with you immediately after that difficult time in 2 different sales rings. It would probably be better to sort of sit and think for some time. These were regional sales, and they were right on top of each other. You know, enough said. But the sales in Johannesburg will be a different kettle of fish completely. And there are optimistic signs. One would hope, and one is trying every now and again to help, the sales companies rationalize the program in a way that has to be good for them, both of them. If it is good for them, then it's likely to be good for the market as well.
The CTS Book 1 sale in January was great. It was lovely to see so many international buyers here for that. And I suppose this March CTS sale does give those buyers the opportunity that didn't get on that sale.
Well, that's true. But they're really completely different animals, those sales. The Cape Premier yearling sale is now established, unique in the sense of the centre city thing, known more widely around the world now, and the people behind it have succeeded brilliantly in bringing this overseas involvement in many cases in a much bigger business plan, and that is part of it. So to that extent, it's a great success. All so-called elite sales, if they really are elite, and that one is, the majority of the money spent is going to come from a relatively small number of people. And as you say, the more middle-of-the-road buyer is not necessarily going to get what he or she wants. What I had hoped to see by now is a March sale, and CTS have gone into the old vintage slot, so it kind of fits, which was consolidated, was one sale, which could be one of the most important sales in South Africa. You know, it's sort of sitting, if you like, in between the January Jamboree, wonderful that it is, and the Nationals. But unfortunately that hasn't happened, and that really is to do with shrinking markets and lack of buying power, and sheer fear too.
Now, you've been all over the world and visited many different sales. Our breeding in this country and the conformation, you must have seen how much we've come on over the years.
Oh, enormous. I mean, and you know, let's just say, why am I here still so positively is because it is so good. The production is excellent. And, you know, no question about that. 12, 15 years ago, it was a different kettle of fish. But it wasn't that the horses were worse or that sort of, I don't mean that at all, but it's the preparation, you know, and that's still developing.
And of course we're still trying very hard to sort out the protocol for getting horses to travel and move overseas,
Yeah.
which will be great when that happens.
I think we can be optimistic now. I was part of a team that was working on that, not in any technical capacity, but in sort of, I suppose, goodwill. And really what my job was in Europe was to persuade old stick-in-the-muds actually to listen, please. But that is now barely necessary because the scientific advances and, I mean, the sheer quality of the presentation at ITBF made by the South African team. There were international renowned vets there who actually sat back and said, "Ooh, this is a game changer." And when people like that start being impressed and supportive, then you know you're in the right atmosphere. And the quality of the work being done on behalf of South Africa now is far, far higher than it was 5 years ago.
It's great to see the success that South African horses have had in Dubai and Hong Kong already, so if we can keep it moving, it'll be fantastic.
Yes, I think the timing, if it all goes well, whether it's the lifting of the EU ban in 2018 or whether it's creating a new bilateral protocol with an individual country, one can very much hope for that. I think the Dubai thing, obviously Mike de Kock exploited the situation brilliantly. And not only with South African breds, of course, it was South American horses as well, and a couple of ex-Coolmore horses that suddenly won Group 1s when Mike was training them. It was great to see. And that sort of thing will continue. But speaking for myself, I've got a South African flag on my hat. Everybody says it all the time. They don't really talk to me about much else in the UK. And it would be very nice to be waving that flag when South African breds are crossing the line, whether it's in Newmarket or Doncaster or it's perhaps running in France or pop over to Ireland. I mean, that would just be fantastic.
Well, thank you for taking the time to chat to us this morning, David. You're off on a plane back to England this afternoon, but we'll look forward to seeing you in April for the next sale.
Yes, I've got to go back north because there's a little sale that I need to attend in 2 or 3 days' time, but I'll be back more or less immediately and see you in April.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
Two stallions who certainly need no introduction to the Breeding to Win show, champions in their own right on the track and on the breeding scene, of course, are Captain L and Dynasty. They are both managed by John Freeman. Let's take a look at their profiles.
All a Secret, What a Winter. Well, Witches come from nowhere. She's putting in a strong claim. What a Winter comes under pressure from All a Secret. Well, Witches running on. All a Secret, What a Winter. But All a Secret's finding more. All a Secret's going on, and All a Secret has won it.
Hill 54, Yoka. Between runners, we've got Master of My Fate getting going. Down the inside, we got Ice Machine. It's Hill 54. He's finding another gear, and Hill 54 is powering home to conquer the bet.
Carry On Alice is now the biggest danger. Then comes his fond Carry On Alice coming at Banadir. The filly will break their hearts today. Carry On Alice draws away.
She comes to hit the front from back in second, Pine Princess, and we have a triple tiara winner. Pine Princess, Ruddy's back on the outside. What's going to happen? Pine Princess has just got its siren score.
Carry On Alice over the last 100. Fly by night, but Carry On Alice is going on. And it's Carry On Alice running strongly. He's going to win it. Captain of All, though, goes on. And it's Captain of All from Gulfstorm the last 100. But Captain of All has won it. It's Captain America in front. He's 2 lengths clear and he's going on strongly. Here's Captain America. This is the Captain America that we know. And he blows them away.
Cloth of Cloud is now starting to peg them back in behind that double appeal. Riverine the one to get to. Cloth of Cloud is finishing strongly down the inside. Cloth of Cloud is coming the best of all down the inside, and Cloth of Cloud has swept past them. This is a champion, Cloth of Cloud a length.
The Secret is out, Blaze of Mystery. It's Blaze of Mystery and The Secret is out. These are the two. The Secret is out, Blaze of Mystery, My Funny Valentine. First is kicking on from behind. Fursa, Visuality's also taking off. The Secret is out, Fursa. The Secret is out, won it. Always in Charge is on the outside, finding more. Down the inside, Seattle Singer. Always in Charge is going to win it though. And Always in Charge goes on to win it.
It's William Longsword with his head in front. He's taken the lead in the Guineas. Gold Standard is bearing him down with each and every stride. The post looming. William Longsword from Gold Standard. It's Carry On Alice that's taken the lead in the Betting World Cape Flying Championship. Red Ray comes again on the inside. Up the outside, trip to Evan to the wire. Carry On Alice won it.
Dynasty, head and shoulders above the best of his generation. Won 9 races, including 4 Grade 1 races.
Dynasty's coming on strongly, and Dynasty's gonna strike gold.
Dynasty earned the Equus panel's ultimate accolade as Horse of the Year and Champion 3-year-old after winning the Durban July as the highest rated 3-year-old ever to win the race, and only the second horse in history to achieve that from draw 20. Dynasty and his illustrious sire, Fort Wood, are only 2 of 3 sires in the history of South African racing and breeding to produce 3 Equus Horses of the Year. Dynasty is the only sire ever to be crowned Equus Outstanding Sire 3 times. Dynasty is also the only 3-year-old Horse of the Year to sire a 3-year-old Horse of the Year from his first crop. Dynasty's phenomenal progeny results have made him a sale-topping sire. He stands at Highland Stud Farm and is managed by John Freeman.
Down here on the Cape, the weather, the grass, the horses. Here's where it is, Main Chance Farm. Champion breeders.
Up the outside, Just Essential is also running an absolute cracker, and Safe Harbour has taken off between runners. It's Safe Harbour that comes to the front with Just Essential. These two to the wire. Just Essential from Safe Harbour.
Joe's Bond hanging tough. Carry On Alice trying to get to her along the outside. Joe's Bond keeping her at bay. Carry On Alice. Scandal is running on. Joe's Bond keeps rolling though and stays on to win from Carry On Alice.
It's William Longsword with his head in front. He's taken the lead in the Guineas. Gold Standard is bearing him down with each and every stride. The post looming. William Longsword from Gold Standard.
Well, that brings this edition of Breeding to Win to a close, but as promised, here are some of the highlights from this year's Dubai World Cup. From myself, Julie Alexander, and the rest of the team, good night.
And they're racing. As they sort themselves out, they pass the 7 furlong marker.
Past the mile marker and leads by a length. Roche in second spot with regular member third, and the pace is quick. 600 metres and a long hard run home. Well armed had slipped the field. They flatten past the 400. Victoire Peas are in front. They're drawing to the judge. Ponterosso goes up to Capone. 250 metres out. Animal Kingdom in front with 200 metres left to go. African Story in the blue of Godolphin is forging clear. Prince Bishop and William going. Prince Bishop is clear. In Dubai, Rome turns to gold.
We're here at Maidan for the Dubai World Cup, part of Let's Go's Travels trip, and full Georgia as per usual. There's been a whole host of activities. We've had a rooftop braai, we've been out on the track for breakfast with the stars, and we'll be bringing you all that in a little highlights package. But today is the day. The fantastic Mike de Kock, he's got 2 runners. He'll be sending out Fari, and also he's got the runner in the big event, the World Cup, carrying $10 million. But a fantastic experience, and certainly the South African team might not be as big in numbers, but they're certainly here having a whole heap of fun.
Objection.
We're on the Maidan rooftop. We've got Gareth Pepper here all the way from Singapore. Gareth, great that you joined us on the top here. Full Georgia's tour group. It's a bit of a revelation. Every single year they bring a whole troop out here, and it's been pretty fun.
It's been great. You know, I haven't been here for 3 years, and not by anyone else's fault but my own, because I had to work and do what I had to do. But to get back here, it's a family. It's an experience, and there's a couple of you sitting at home right now watching this. It's going to be in the past. You missed out. I promise you missed out.
Michelle, first time in Dubai. What do you make of it so far?
No words, Grant. Absolutely fantastic. Lights, food, great horses, great people. We wouldn't want to be anywhere else this time of year.
Well, you've had breakfast with the stars this morning. You've also come out and I've heard a couple of rumours that you've done a bit of shopping.
Those rumours are so not true. We came strictly for the horses and the cheap booze.
But you've got a nice crew here and a couple of new faces.
Yeah, that excites me because those new faces we believe will be back. They'll spread the word, and those are, we believe, our reps for the future.
The build-up to Saturday night has been fantastic. We've had a terrific time. We've been welcomed. The hospitality in Dubai has been excellent. Food, the experiences, it's absolutely amazing. Would recommend it to anybody that's thinking about, don't think about it, just come and do it because you will be blown away. Lots to see, lots to do. The other thing is happy wife, happy life. So take her shopping, give her good things, and looking forward to Saturday.
Okay, undoubtedly you've been voted the best legs here tonight.
Have I?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us, is your first trip here? Is your first trip here?
Trip here to Dubai, yeah.
You enjoying it so far?
Lovely, it's amazing. Such pretty tracks, amazing, stunning.
Now, in terms of the horses, who are you here to support?
Everyone, just everyone.
Horse-wise, is there a particular favourite of yours?
Arrogate.
Arrogate?
Yes.
There's a bit of help from the sides there. Just get the side, get the crop in on the side. That's the team. Is that parents?
Parents, yep, mum and dad.
What's Dad's name?
Charlie.
Charlie, welcome. I hope you enjoy your trip. And Mum is?
Julie.
Charlie and Julie, have a fantastic evening. Thank you for joining us. And congratulations and enjoy the rest of the trip.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, a couple of the guys are organising a bit of a tour later on for the chicken run. Are you up?
Well, you know, I'm having lamb chops at the moment. I don't think I'll be able to fit any chicken at the moment. But there's an old saying, don't ever bring sand to the desert.
Barbara, is that your first course?
No, it's my third.
Okay. Just wanted to check. Now, you've got the two glorious, good-looking ladies that have joined us in Dubai. What's your first impression?
It's amazing. I'll definitely come back next year.
Did you go on the chicken run?
Yes, I did.
And?
I enjoyed it more than everyone else, I think.
Now, there was a competition between like the lady in the blue dress and Maya the bee. Who was your pick?
The blue dress, she took the cake.
Hi, Michelle, you've been promoted now to become the official spotter of the team. How do you feel about that new position?
Very honoured. And if I can choose a person as good as I choose a horse, I'll be here next year.
Well, all I can say to you is that I disagreed with your first choice, your spotting, and I was proven wrong because your spot actually came through as being the creme de la creme of spotting.
As it should be.
We're going to be showing a highlights clip during the course of this interview as well. Now, your son was very active at the stable, Bri, as well with his falconry. What an awesome job.
He's done amazingly. It just shows you. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I'll tell you what, we mentioned your 65km/h horses, which he asked you the question. I answered it on your behalf, but I think you've got a couple that might be faster.
No, none faster. That's why it's so hard to win races.
James, enjoy the day, and obviously hats off to Full Georgia. Always does a great job.
Grant, you're absolutely right. In fact, it's probably the best tour in the world to come to the races, and I'm amazed more people don't know about it and don't come on it.
Well, as promised, we have been catching up with all those events mentioned. We've been out at the stables, we've been to visit Mike de Kock, we've also been on the top of the Maidon Grandstand for the rooftop ride, and we caught a couple of people visiting the World Cup today for the very first time too.
Mike, you've ridden great horses, you've ridden iconic horses, you've ridden the brilliant Zenyatta, you've ridden Songbird. What sets this horse apart? What makes him special?
Well, they're all extremely talented. His mechanics are amazing. The way he gets over the ground, it's as if you're... I describe it a little bit as you feel like you're going downhill. I mean, and there's just no wasted action. And what he has that the others hadn't had is he's got a set of lungs on him like I've never seen. I mean, this horse is just like, he'll run a mile and a quarter and he pulls up and he takes one short breath and comes back as if he didn't just run a mile and a quarter in under 2 minutes. I mean, which is incredible. I mean, most of the time when a horse does like that, I mean, I'm talking about good horses do that. I mean, they stand there for a little bit and they hang their head to get there. I mean, it just doesn't seem to faze him.
And as regards the future for Arrogate if all goes well this evening? Where would you like to see him resume his career in the United States?
Well, he'll probably get a well-deserved break after this, regardless. You know, hopefully he runs well tonight, and he'll catch probably I don't know. I'd have to talk to Bob to find out for sure, but I bet you he gets a few months off. And then they'll get him ready for the Breeders' Cup Classic at Del Mar. You know, how many times he'd run before then, I'm not sure. And if he's going to run after that, but I don't see nothing wrong with that Pegasus one more time.
Wardy will be the next. Up to Hedge goes towards the outside. They look to be ready. Shane Ryan has the button. Gates fly, they're racing in the Dubai World Cup, and Gold Dream slow to move, and Arrogate is last. At the end of the first 100 metres, Arrogate last as they charge down to the judge the first time. Long River has swept to the lead. Gun Runner is second past the judge, Neolithic third. Move to Hedge from the wide gate will slot in on the fence. He's fourth on the turn out of the straight. A length and a half for Wardy on the inside of Special Fighter. 2 lengths away Apollo Kentucky. Furia Cressada deep move up in the middle. A length to Gold Dream, a length to Opportunity. 1.5 to Arrogate. 2 lengths to Keen Ice, and Lani is 3 lengths away at the tail of the field. Long River takes them down the back of the track. 1,200 metres left to run. The first quarter in 24.8, and Long River showed the way. Led by a half length. Gun Runner second. Neolithic 3/4 of a length away third, and he's 3 wide. Move to Hedge is fourth. He's away from the fence. He's a length and a half off the pace. Gold Dream is deep. Wardy goes up on the rail, then Special Fighter. Opportunity and move up. Apollo Kentucky. Arrogate's out wide now. He's being asked to improve, but he's still 8 lengths off the lead. Further back, Furia Cressada, Keen Ice, and Lani is a long last. Gunrunner has gone to the front. They've 550 metres left to run, and Gunrunner showed the way. Neolithic's a half length away second. 1.5 lengths to move to Hedge, and here comes the big A. Arrogate on the outside. Gun Runner in front of Neolithic, but Arrogate swoops up on the outside. America's King Croesus of horse racing went to the front. 200 metres left to go. Arrogate has drawn away from Gun Runner. A is for Arrogate. A is for Absolute Superstar. A is for Anointing. Have we seen the anointing of the man of war of the 21st century? Arrogate, a brilliant winner of the Dubai World Cup from Gun Runner and Neolithic. Then Move to Hedge. Keen Ice, Opportunity, Awardee, Lani, Apollo Kentucky, Move Up, Special Fighter, Furia Cressada, Gold Dream, and Long River. Well, what about that? There's been 22 Dubai World Cups, and that, I think, would rate equally as the most spectacular. Perhaps with Dubai Millennium's all-the-way win in 2000. Last out of the machine, still 10 lengths off them. Turning out at the back, he has swept home and won it running away. But Arrogate, ridden by Mike Smith, has won the Dubai World Cup in 2:2.15. 2:2.15. Number 9, Arrogate. Mike Smith is first. Number 5, Gun Runner. Laurent Giraud is second. Number 11, Neolithic. John Velasquez is third. I'll tell you 4th, 5th and 6th when they put it back on the screen. The time is 2:2.15 at the end of the 2017 Dubai World Cup. Sponsored by Emirates Airline. Dubai World Cup Day.
This is the place where the real passion for horses is born.
Gates fly. 3 of them. Second summer. Watson's done it again. Redder is storming home and will give Qatar the Dubai Kahila Classic. Fazirabad is finishing fast. Fazirabad does it again. Thunder Snow lunges again. One in the last possible gasp. The right man and long on value, one for the judge, a thriller in the Elgos. Here comes Biscuits. Biblos has won the Dubai turf. Jack Hobbs has hit it out of the ground, wins the Dubai Shima Classic. Gates Fly, but Arrogant is last. America's King Croesus of horse racing, Arrogate, has drawn away from Gunrunner, a brilliant winner of the Dubai World Cup.
Out of 10, Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again. Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the Main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.